how do you perform a mass update of a lot of SAP PI communication channels, cloud integration, iFlows, or proxies. In this scenario, one of the things that we have seen from time to time is that you have created some hosts or some configuration of communication channel, and you want to update this. But it's not just one communication channel, it is a lot. Normally, you would then let the developer go into the system and change all of these things. But then you would have no traces of what have happened. The other thing is you would write a document to someone explaining it, and they would have a lot of work to go through all of these channels and update them. In this scenario, I'll show you how you can use the Figaf tool to update mass communication channels. Okay, so we have these communication channels. There's 2 times 2 for each of these ones. So what we'll do is we'll go to the Figaf system. Here we have synchronized these objects into to the systems, and we will add them into a ticket. So we'll create a new ticket, assign to ticket. Rename batch. We can configure which system we have it on. Here we have one that just transport from itself from one system to another. If you want to just do it on the same system. You can also do it when you're transporting from dev to QA, then you also have the same option. We'll just select here, and we can obviously on the ticket assign it to the JIRA, etc. We can see we have all the communication channels here as a part of it, and we will then create a transport on this. So a transport is our way of considering this is what needs to happen. So we will download this parameter report. So I guess the manual process would be to go in here, check all of these settings, and then you will search here non-transportable only. You can then go in and you can overwrite these scenarios and write the new host, etc. I think I have already tried to do it on some of these scenarios. So this would be the way. You will go in here and you will write a new URL. And this is obviously going to save a lot of time. You can then save it. And then once you have done everything, you will send it to approval and import. But let's do it in a batch way. So we want to configure all of these ones. And I opened this as a CSV in an Excel sheet. And here I can see all the artifacts of this. So I can see the target names of these communication channels. I can see the parameters, the parameter type, the description, or what it is, and then I can see it here. So the easiest way is to go to add a filter. Then we can add, either we can go in and say, okay, we just want to have the non-transportable field, then we can easily see all the non-transportable, but we can also just go in and say, okay, we want only to see the host and the URL and the port. So let's do these. So here we can see for all these 8 communication channels, what are the hosts and ports, and we can see we have configured some of these from time to time on these scenarios. So I have a new URL. Let's just call it new URL demo 2. And I can then go through all of these different parameters updated for this in a batch way. And when I do this, I also need to rewrite here so it knows that it should fetch the data from here and not from somewhere else. Let me just update all of them. So since it is filtered, it copy paste sometimes seems a bit strange on this. Let's also just configure one of these to this one to new host, and a port 88.8. So if we have inherit from target, which is the value here, it will remember that it needs to apply the one where we have the data on. So this is good if you, for instance, doing a transport, but you do not want to overwrite all the different parameters that you have. So we will save here. We have updated quite a bit of these, and then we'll go back to the tool. There's a batch upload here. Here you can then select the transport that you have. You will validate it here, and it will give you a overview of what are all the changes that have happened. If there is a warning or something that is not applicable in, you will get some warning on top saying this file is not valid. So there's some sanity check on this, and obviously, as you can see here, you can also it's also possible to transport or configure communication channels, adapter engine names. So if you want to batch update adapter engine names, this is also a decentral adapter engine. This is also a pretty cool place to do this. So we'll submit this. So this will then mean that it will go in and update all of these changes that we have. I can go in and compare one of these. What is the differences that is going to apply here? So it will see we will be using the newer URL for this configuration here. And we can see it also in these overviews here. Non-transportable, we can see that new URL and non-inherit from source here has been selected. And we will then send it to approval. That means that you can get a secondary eye on who has made these changes, what's going on, is this correct? He can, or that user will then be able to download the report again and get an updated information about all of these changes that are happening, to check, is this also what we want from this update. So here we can see it's version 1 that we are using here, or a different version. So then it's just to go back into the tool and say approve. Yep. Then it's approved, and as an approver I'll get an email saying please approve it, and then I can import it and activate it. Let's just do that. And then it will import, apply the configurations, do all the checks. If you're not secure about what the tool can do and if it will work, you can just go in and say, okay, just activate or create the change list, but not activate it. So now we can see everything is completed. The process is completed. That means we have an ability here to do rollbacks. If I'm looking at any of the objects out here in the system, here I can see the communication channel. I can see that it is assigned to this ticket, batch rename. We can in here have assigned our DIRA number, etc. So if someone 2 years down the road figures, so why are all these pointing to new hosts, you can go in and you can find back, and then you can link to the DIRA here and say it was because the business asked for it this time. So you have all the traceability for this process. And then let's obviously check if it actually did make any changes to these. So let's close here. So we can see it has updated new host, it has updated the URL and a host name. All of this from the tool, and obviously you can do this both on when you're just changing on the same landscape, and also when you transport from one landscape to another, and just simplifies the process, making it so much easier for you to handle the transport process, or reconfigurations. There's also options if you want to rename systems. You can also do that in a batch way. But that's a different video, a little more complex. Here I just want to show you how do you reconfigure all of these and document them in a batch way. Thanks for watching.